What's up, everyone? This is Tatum. I'm back with another episode of Flowers, where today I'm going to be giving flowers to one of my favorite albums. I think it's slept on a bit. Using the word slept on for this band is kind of outrageous, but today I'm going to be discussing the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour. You say yeah. Sorry, okay. Magical Mystery Tour is one of my favorite Beatle records. It's hard to describe it because it's kind of like a soundtrack, but it's not. It came out shortly after Sgt. Pepper, and I think it houses some of the best songs to me. It's only 11 tracks on here on the U.S. version. One of the tracks on here is the first Beatles song I ever heard in my life. I'm just going through the Beatles discography. If you're new to my channel, you can go check out my prior Beatles reviews and analysis. So I thought Magical Mystery Tour was a good one. I'm getting close to the end of it. I think I need to do Help and Rubber Soul. I don't think I did Rubber Soul yet, so I'll do. If you want me to, I'll do Help and Rubber Soul. But this album, like I said, is filled with a bunch of songs that I think are just great. It really shows their artistic input and output to me. You could tell they were still riding high off the vibes they caught with Revolver and Sgt. Pepper, and it kind of went into this. Even though I heard that the movie was a flop, the album is tremendously commercial successful and critically successful. So I don't want to waste too much of your time. Before we get started, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get ready to leave your comments to let me know what some of your favorite songs on here. What do you rank Magical Mystery and the Beatles discography? Do you even consider this an actual official Beatles album? Because if it is, this is just like more icing on the cake for them. So let's get started. The album starts with Magical Mystery Tour, and it's just like a sort of like how Sgt. Pepper starts, just a rock out band, and the Magical Mystery Tour, waiting to take you away. It's a great introduction, and I love one of my favorite parts of that is at the very tail end of the record. It's like this weird, I can't even describe. It's like this weird piano and drum sequence at the end of the record that is like they only play it at the end of the record, and it's like the tail end, like tailing off the record. It's like one of the best parts of that whole record to me. I can rewind that part and just keep listening to that small loop over and over again. I was like, they should have did a whole song on this beat. Where's this song at? But great introduction to the album. The first official record is Fool on the Hill, and Fool on the Hill is one of those. It's a classic Beatles record, classic McCartney record. Paul McCartney said it was his, obviously. Him and John had this thing that they really wanted to know, even though most of their songs were credited McCartney, Lennon, they wanted to let you know, I wrote this one. But he said, Fool on the Hill was mine. I think I was writing about someone like Maharishi, and his dictators would call him the Fool on the Hill because of his giggle and he wasn't taken too seriously. So that inspired the idea of Fool on the Hill. He said he was sitting at the piano at his father's house in Liverpool when he hit a D6 chord and he made a Fool on the Hill. And it's one of the few songs that Lennon actually praised McCartney for. And it's kind of the predecessor in a way for Sexy Sadie. I didn't think about that till I read it, and I was like, yeah, I guess, one's like praising it, and then the other one is like after you come to the realization that this person was not who you thought he was in a way. I just love that record. Like when I first heard it in my teens, I was like, this is crazy. Like I just felt like it was talking to me, like just being misunderstood. And the one that the person always makes fun of, whatever, you're weird or whatever, they're the ones who's really hip to things and things of that nature. So that song really related to me as a teenager, just going through those adolescent phases and being felt misunderstood and things of that nature. And everything about the record is just dope. Even like the flute part, whoa, round and around and around. Like everything about that song is just, that goes into Flying, which is like a instrumental track, just jamming like, bum, 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 dum, bum, dun, 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 bum, Like they were just jamming out, and it was rare at this moment that you seen or Beatles had records that were just jam records, like instrumental records. I thought that was a cool addition to have to the record. It gave Magical Mystery like its own thing, like its own zone kind of thing in a way, for lack of better words. That goes into Blue Jay Way. That song is written by George, and I think it's a slept on record in the Beatles catalog to me. I barely hear people talk about Blue Jay Way, but that's just me, and maybe it's just the circles that I've been accustomed to running in and things of that nature. But I love the way. Well, let me just get a little backstory. The song was named after the street in the Hollywood Hills where George was staying at. He was waiting for a visit from someone. I think a music publicist or something like that, trying to find his way to Blue Jay Way, but it was foggy and things of that nature. And one of the things I really enjoyed about the record is the tone of it, the vocal effect on it, and also how like in the first verse it's like this slow kind of beat and feel, and then the second verse it builds, and then by the hook it builds, and then by the second verse it just picks up into this like like the drums are just hitting, and it's just like you chucking along kind of record. Like it's a really cool record for me. Like I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite George Harrison records. I know it's not Guitar Gem Lee Weeps and things of that nature, but it's one of my favorites, like oddly. Mother Should Know was one of those records McCartney he wanted to address the, I guess, generational issues with generational barriers within music. So, let's all get up and dance to a song that was a hit before your mother was born. Though she was born a long, long time ago, your mother should know. I always think it was funny. Like I think it's one of those funny Beatles records that is just like, it's one of those records that it just shows you how great of writers they are, that they can, and John does that too on a song coming up, but it just shows how great, just how they can write about anything, man. They can literally write about anything. Although Your Mother Should Know is not one of my favorite Beatles songs, it is Enjoy Your Boo Listen. It's just, it's comical to me for some reason. I don't know, that's just me though. Like I find it like, this is so funny. Every time I listen to it, it has that old feel to it and everything else. I'm glad it lives somewhere. You know what I mean? If you can understand what I'm saying with that. I guess he's seen an argument between a mother and a child could have enduring consequences for their relationship, and added, so I was advocating for peace between the two generations. I was basically trying to say your mother might know more than you think she does, so give her credit. And I guess I could get that from that record. I guess I could see that somehow in there. I Am the Walrus, which is probably my favorite on the album, even though it's kind of one of those John records that's I don't know, maybe gibberish in a way. Like he took like 3 different songs and put it together to make this one, and it's kind of all over the place if you listen to it, but it's just so great. Like it's just so fucking great. Sorry, pardon my language, but it is. And he said it was inspired by the wars. The wars in the song refers to a poem called "The Wars and the Carpenter." And it's funny because he said he later went back and looked at it and realized that the Walrus was the bad guy in the story and the Carpenter was the good guy. He was like, I thought, oh shit, I picked the wrong guy. I should have said I am the Carpenter, but that wouldn't have been the same with it. And he started laughing. I am the Carpenter, whatever. But it's funny because, what is that, on the White Album, he says, I told you about the fool on the hill. I told you, man, he's living there still. But here's another clue for you more. The Walrus was Paul. So if the Walrus was the bad guy, yeah, I'll let you figure that out. But still a great record. He's kind of rapping on there in a way too. If you listen to it, he's kind of, I'm gonna save it for my best lyric, but he's kind of rapping on there to me. Hello Goodbye, probably one of the biggest Beatles records. Like you say yes, I say no, you say stop, I say go, go, go. Like I just love that little guitar there. And I love the video. Like it's one of the few videos. This Strawberry Fields video and All You Need Is Love. It's like they were really happy. You could see the happiness and the joking side of the Beatles. Like with all the clothes, they still had on like their Sgt. Pepper 70s kind of colored clothing, and it's just a fun record, man. McCartney says the answer is everything is simple. It's a song about everything and nothing. You you have black and you have white. And that's the amazing thing about life. So I guess, you say hello, I say goodbye, you say blah, 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 I say this, I say that, blah, blah, blah. It's always just to counteract everything. Everything needs balance, for lack of better words. And, I thought that was pretty cool. And like I said, again, it's probably one of the biggest Beatles records. That goes into Strawberry Fields. And that's the first Beatles song I ever heard in my life. And I just remember the first time I heard it, I was just like, what is this? Like, and it's a record of recollection of John's childhood. Strawberry Fields, and strawberry fields forever, strawberry fields forever. I always think, not to get sidetracked, but I always think, wow, if this song was added to Sgt. Pepper, that album would have been, I mean, it's already a classic. Don't, obviously, like, it's fucking Sgt. Pepper. But if they had Strawberry Fields on that album, just imagine how, like, it would have been. It's still untouchable. What am I saying? But I always just imagine if that song was put on there. But I'm glad it was actually released on some form of LP in a way, because that song is just amazing. Like, no one I think is in my tree. I mean, it must be high or low. Like, I mean, oh yes, but like the way that Johns is like, he's having a conversation with himself, like he's correcting himself. Well, yeah, nah. I mean, like, I guess it'll all work out. Like, he just has, I think, I guess you can constitute this to the LSD and things of that nature, but the way that their lyrics opened up and just mine opened up to new forms of writing and things of that nature around this time is just magical, man. Like, Strawberry Fields Forever is just crazy. And as I'm saying this, my son has a marker over there with a strawberry marker with a smiley face on it. Like, I didn't even know that was there. Like, that's freaking crazy. That leads into Penny Lane, which is kind of like Paul McCartney's counteract to Strawberry Fields Forever. To me, Penny Lane is cool, but knowing that it was a counteract, like, John, you got one about your childhood? Let me write one about my childhood, and his is more like poppy in a way, and Penny Lane is in my ear, and I'm like, it's a great record, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I don't go back to Penny Lane as much as I go back to Strawberry Fields Forever, and I can't be the only one. You can leave your comments if you want, but great record, but it's not something that I'm like, I don't know. It's just it's very popish, and I know that's like Paul McCartney's thing with the Beatles, but I don't know. It seems like it was written just to counteract Strawberry Fields Forever, like, and that was the sole reason for it. Like, I don't think Penny Lane would exist if Strawberry Fields didn't exist, if you know what I mean. So it's something I always think about. Baby, You're a Rich Man. And Baby, You're a Rich Man, I just love that record too. Like, how does it feel to be one of the beautiful people? And I didn't know that Beautiful People was a reference to hippies back in the day. I didn't know that, so I did a little bit more research. I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. I always just thought he was talking about beautiful people. But I love that, and it's one of those records that both Paul and John worked on together. Like, John had the verses, but he didn't have a hook, so Paul had his hook to another song, put that together. Baby, you're a rich, baby, you're a rich man too. You keep all your money in a big brown bag inside a zoo with a thing to do. Like, it's just a baby. Like, and the whole shouting of the hook, I thought it's one of my favorites on here. But it just shows you how great of writers those two are, and how in sync those two are. Like, you have these verses over here, and it's like, oh, you need a hook? Let me see. I got this hook over here, and it magically works. Like, just, oh yeah, you should sing, baby, you're a rich man. Like, it's just God, man. It's just crazy. Those two were just meant for each other. Leads into the last song, All You Need Is Love. I wish I would have wore my All You Need Is Love t-shirt. That's a fumble on my behalf, but I do want a Magical Mystery Tour t-shirt. I need to get one of those. All You Need Is Love is, I guess they signed a contract to do some show, Our World. I never heard of it, but they wanted them. It was on June 25th. That's the day before my birthday. They were asked to do a song with a message that could be easily understood by everyone, and using basic English terms and things of that nature. That's probably why it sounds like that. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs though. Like I love that whole I guess that's the footage that we always see with everybody in the room in the studio. I could be wrong about that. Let me know in the comments. John Lennon later said that the song's simple lyrics statements is to his liking of slogans and TV advertisement. He likened the song to a propaganda piece, adding, "I'm a revolutionary artist. My art is dedicated to change." I'm not sure what that means. Like, did you like the song or did you not like the song? But I think even with that said, John Lennon is so just, he's an artist, man. Yeah. To me, that song is just amazing. I mean, like his verses, like he says, yeah, it's simple, but it hits. You know what I mean? So it's nothing you can make that can't be made. It's no one you can save who can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. What? All you need is love. Bum, 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 bum. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. There's nothing you can see that isn't shown. There's nowhere you could be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. I just think the best messages are simple. You know what I mean? The best messages are the ones that can easily penetrate, and break through. And I think at the end of the day, all you really need is love. Like, it's that simple. That's why that song is so, it's on t-shirts, and it's one of the Beatles' biggest records because it hits to this day. All we need is love. With all the nonsense going on around the world, all we need is love. Love can save everything. Love is all you need. And just to have them, one of my favorite Easter eggs in it is, as the song's going on, and oh yeah, John Lennon just goes, or maybe it's Paul McCartney, but in the background it says, "She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah." Like, just to bring that back, I thought that was so cool, like a cool Easter egg. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah. It just sounds like they're having fun in it. That's one of the things I do love about the Magical Mystery Tour. But let me get into my best songs. I'm gonna go with Strawberry Fields, I Am the Walrus, and Fool on the Hill. Worst song, I'm gonna go with Penny Lane. Penny Lane. I don't know. Best line by John Lennon. He says, "Mr. City Policeman sitting pretty little policeman in a row. See how they fly like Lucy in the sky. See how they run. I'm crying." And I like that line because, again, it has this flow is so in pocket. It's like a rap, like in the 60s before we even knew, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, little city policeman sitting pretty little policeman in a, like, it could be Public Enemy could have said that. Chuck D could have said that, you know what I mean? So, like, that line always hit me, and just I'm the Walrus, just a great record, but that line always stood out to me then as growing up. So that's why I had to be my favorite line. I couldn't do it without. I could have said something else, but then in my mind I was like, it has to be this, Davon. Let's wrap this thing up though. In closing, Magical Mystery Tour, again, it's one of my favorite Beatles records. I'm not going to tell you where it ranks in my ranking of Beatles records, but it's up there, and I think it's one of the Beatles' most fun records. I think, and the fact that it's, for lack of better words, it's don't take this the wrong way, but it's throwaway records. These records, because it's not technically an album, but these records are so good. Like, they're so freaking good that it just shows you again how great of a band these men were. And even when they're fooling around, they can make records that's better than your whole discography. Like, All You Need Is Love, I'm the War, Strawberry Fields Forever, Fool on the Hill, Hello Goodbye. It's just records that could just shatter your whole discography, and they're not even serious. It's like they're just high off LSD playing around in the studio. We got to make a couple more records. Okay, let's do it. Greatest band ever, man. And that's why I'm giving it flowers today. I need to give me a vinyl, a Magical Mystery Tour vinyl. That's my next mission, t-shirt and vinyl. But the Beatles, Magical Mystery Tour, here's your flowers from me especially. I love this freaking album. Like I said, again, Strawberry Fields is the first Beatles song I ever heard in my life. And from there, it was just uphill for me. So I had to give it its flowers and, yeah, just celebrate it a little bit. Let me know what some of your favorite Beatles songs off this album. Let me know where you rank Magical Mystery Tour in the discography. Do you consider it an actual album? Yeah, and don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button. Share this with your friends and let them know that, wow, this guy does great reviews. And that's pretty much it. I'm Tatum. Peace.